Wanting to and being able to work. Are we able to work until an age as old as possible in all occupations? What factors in the work environment makes it possible for us to want to and be able to participate in an extended working life? When working to make working life sustainable for all ages, it's useful to reflect on being able to and wanting to participate in working life. Just because an individual is able to participate in working life, it does not mean that they want to, and vice versa. In a conducted study, 54% of respondents stated that they thought they could participate in working life until 65 years of age or older. However, only 38% of respondents stated that they wanted to participate in working life until 65 years of age or older. Being able to and wanting to work. Is there a difference between the two? Yes. We need to both be able to and want to participate in working life to work until an older age. Because just being able to do something does not mean wanting to do it, and vice versa. As you can see in the diagrams, based on a survey with 11,902 respondents, 43% stated that they could work until 65 years of age or longer, but only 22% stated that they wanted to work until 65 years of age or longer. So, there's an apparent difference between wanting to work and being able to work in an extended working life. Well, you might think, what differences are there between wanting to and being able to work? What associates with wanting to and being able to work after 65 years of age? That is what we were wondering, and therefore conducted analysis to examine this. It turned out that self-rated health and diagnosis, personal finances, as well as family, leisure time, and personal social environment was significant both to being able to and wanting to work in an extended working life. But other factors differed. What was above all associated with being able to work after 65 years of age were the mental environment, the physical working environment, as well as working hours, work pace, and time for recuperation, but also competence, knowledge, and development opportunities. Associated with wanting to work after 65 years of age were attitudes within the organizations, from managers, etc., leadership, participation, and support, as well as grounds for discrimination. Furthermore, motivation, stimulating tasks, and work satisfaction, that the core in work was perceived as interesting and motivating. This is how wanting to work beyond 65 years of age differs from being able to work beyond 65 years of age. In order to examine further what it means to be able to and want to participate in working life, participants of a study were divided into 3 different groups. Group 1 were those who stated that they could not and did not want to participate in working life until after 65 years of age. Group 2 were those who stated that they could and wanted to participate in working life after 65 years of age. Group 3 were those who stated that they could but did not want to participate in working life after 65 years of age. Based on their responses, they were placed in a diagram on different axes based on how they experienced work environment factors as well as motivational factors in their work. What mainly differed between these groups was first and foremost the personal finances, then the physical work environment, then the mental work environment, health, working hours and work pace, family and spare time, work satisfaction and stimulating tasks, competence and skills, as well as attitudes from managers and organizational company towards the elderly employee, as well as social participation among employees. This is how the 9 areas of consideration were graded in relation to each other for the respondents in these 3 groups with differences, whether they wanted to and were able to participate in working life. In our working environment and working life, there are several factors that affect and influence whether we can and want to participate in working life. These factors can be divided into 9 areas. However, these areas are somewhat interconnected. The individual's health, of course, plays a large role in whether an individual can and wants to participate in working life. Both individuals' self-rated health, in other words, their own experience of well-being, as well as diagnosis, functional variations and injuries that the individual may have, are significant to whether the individual can and wants to participate in working life. The physical work environment that the individual is situated in, tear, workload, accidents and risks that the individual is exposed to through their physical work environment is of importance to whether an individual wants to and is able to participate in working life. The mental work environment, in other words, the stress, demand and control and threats that the individual is subjected to in their mental work environment, affects whether an individual is able to and wants to participate in working life. Working hours, work pace and time for recuperation. What work hours we have, if it's full or part-time, night shifts or day shifts, as well as work pace, whether it is too high or too low, as well as time for recuperation between and during work shifts, so that we have sufficient breaks during a day at work, all affects whether an individual can and wants to participate in working life. Finances are important to whether we can and want to participate in working life. We want to be rewarded for our efforts and be able to afford our bills, costs for living, food, leisure activities, etc. Therefore, the personal financial situation is important to whether we can and want to participate in working life. Even though the Swage model's main focus is on working life and work situation, factors outside work affect whether an individual wants to and is able to participate in working life. Family, partner, friends, leisure activities and socialization is of great importance as a support to being able to and wanting to participate in working life. Factors that may affect participation in working life are, for example, taking care of children or an elderly parent. When the partner plans to retire affects when I want to retire, since many couples plan their retirement together. Furthermore, when friends and social acquaintances plan to retire, what leisure activities the individual has outside work, etc. Attitudes within the organization or enterprise are important to whether an individual can and wants to participate in working life. The social support the individual receives at work from managers and co-workers, whether the individual experiences social inclusion and social support, whether the individual is subjected to disregard and discrimination, for example ageism, but also all other grounds for discrimination. The manager's support in these topics is of great importance. What also affects whether an individual wants to and is able to participate in working life is the experience of work satisfaction, the experience of stimulation in work, whether work activities and tasks make the employee experience self-fulfillment, that individual experience the core of their work and work tasks as meaningful and important. Furthermore, an individual's competence, skills, knowledge and development are crucial. Whether an individual receives competence development throughout working life, that they stay employable through development, that everyone, despite of age, has the opportunity to join in new projects and competence development, so that enterprises and organizations Do not disregard elderly employees by not permitting them to receive the same opportunities to learn new things and develop their competence, since this can make an employee feel that they do not have the right skills and competence to participate in working life. All these 9 areas are of importance to whether we can and want to participate in working life. That is, health, physical work environment, mental work environment, working hours, work pace and time for recuperation, financial incentives and circumstances, family and leisure time, attitudes from managers and organizations towards elderly employees, motivation and work satisfaction, skills and competences. As you can see, these 9 areas correspond to different age definitions. Self-rated health, diagnosis, physical work environment, mental work environment, and work hours, work pace, and time for recuperation relates to biological aging. Financial incentives and circumstances is the only area that actually relates to chronological age, which the pension system is based on. Personal social situation with partner, family and leisure activities, as well as attitudes from managers and organizations, social support from managers and co-workers, relates to social age and how we are perceived in a social situation. The mental age relates to competence, skills, and possibility of learning new things, memory, motivation, and experience of self-fulfillment, stimulating work tasks, and experienced work satisfaction when executing work tasks. All these age definitions and all 9 areas that affect whether we can and want to participate in working life must be considered and included in the attempt of making working life sustainable for all ages. These 9 different areas determine whether an individual can and wants to work, and they are all represented in the wage model. Now, take a moment to consider and reflect on what makes you able to work and what makes you want to work.